How's it going, YouTube and Reddit? My wife and I are doing the Lost Coast Trail in Northern California here in about 2 weeks now. And in a prep stage, I noticed that there really isn't a whole lot of ultralight backpacking gear loadouts or videos about the Lost Coast Trail specifically. So I thought that I would walk you through my gear that I plan to take here. It is sub 10 pounds. It's hovering right around 9 right now, and that's including a bear can. So I'm really excited for the trip, and I hope that this is helpful. Alright, I'm going to start with the things that I will be wearing. First off, well, I guess I'm not wearing trekking poles, but I'm going to be taking these really old Black Diamond trekking poles. They've held up fantastic so far. They're at least 10 years old, but I'm going to continue using them until they fall apart. So there's those. I really like this Columbia Arico titanium shirt. Super light. You can actually see through it. There's tons of little tiny dots in it. So this is a great shirt in the sun, in the really hot weather. Breathes really well, and I like it. As far as shorts, got these Patagonia 5-inch baggies. These are fantastic, giant pockets, which are great. They're really light, breathable. I did cut out the liner, which I would recommend if you're not wearing them for swimming. But yeah. Just recently picked up a pair of Dirty Girl gaiters. Haven't taken them on a trail yet, but I got these festive, space-themed ones. So I'm excited to use these, especially on the Lost Coast with all the sand. From everything that I've read, the sand getting into your shoes is quite a problem. I don't doubt that these are going to not be 100% effective, but it should help significantly. So I'm excited to test those out. And then as for shoes, my Lone Peak 3.0s. They've seen some wear now, but holding up pretty well. I mean, they're the most comfortable trail runners I've ever worn, but my one major critique is the durability leaves a lot to be desired. You can kind of see the sole there, and then right where the shoe flexes, there's a little bit of wear, and the tongue here. And I think I have 300 miles maybe on these, so not insignificant, but I will continue wearing them because they're comfortable, but I wish they were more durable. Oh, I forgot my fanny pack.
Okay.
I will be carrying a through pack fanny pack. Through Pack is the company, and it's the hiker model. I know the owner of that company is a Redditor, so shout out to him. I really love it, and I'm excited to use it on the Lost Coast. And so that's what I will be wearing. Oh, a hat and some native sunglasses will round out my wardrobe. So next we'll talk about what's in my pack. Alright, so the pack I have is the Mountain Laurel Designs Prophet. It is a 48-liter frameless pack that weighs 17 ounces. I absolutely love this pack. A lot of people don't necessarily think about frameless packs and bear cans going together, but as you can see, this fits really well, and there's no stress on anything, so I think it's going to work out fine. Some creative packing will be necessary to make it so that the bear can isn't digging in my back, but I think I've solved that. So, alright, so starting with the things on the outside. Am I manspreading? I think I'm manspreading.
Yeah, you're manspreading a little bit.
Sorry about that. Alright, so here is my cook kit. I was going to go no cook, but my wife convinced me otherwise. So, right. I think I've posted about this before, but this is just the standard Totes bag. Weighs about ½ ounce. Could probably get a lighter one, but it's good for now. And if you didn't know this, those bags can be used as a koozie or a mug insulator, which is kind of cool. So, alright. So this is a Snow Peak Trek 700 titanium pot with a 95 centimeter or millimeter Toaks titanium lid, which fits perfectly. I wish I would have just bought the lid, which you can, but I got this with the Toaks 500 milliliter pot. It works great, and I like the Snow Peak a little bit better. You can see on the handles I have put some silicone fuel line tubing on the handles. This helps heat proof them and makes it easy to pick up without having to have a bandana or anything else to pick up the pot, which is great. The stove is the Soto Amicus stove. It's a 2.6 ounce stove, so definitely not the lightest on the market, but the build quality on this is awesome. It just feels quality, made in Japan. Not titanium, but I mean 2.6 ounces without the igniter is pretty great. So personally, I think it's worth the extra ounces over the BRS 3000. The BRS works fine, but the quality leaves a lot to be desired, and it's terrible in the wind. This guy is fantastic in the wind, which is going to be great on the beach. So that's why I picked up this guy for the Lost Coast Trail, and I will probably be using this for all my trips. Alright. Water filter is the classic Sawyer squeeze. I put a Smart Water sport cap on the top, which I think is nice. You can protect this little end from dirty water or getting contaminated with dirt and stuff. So I think that's a cool little tip. And of course I peeled off the label, which saved me a gram and is my highest upvoted post on Reddit. Sorry. My ditty bag here, it's a Cuban fiber medium packing cube from Mountain Laurel Designs. I really like it. It weighs less than a ½ ounce and is essentially waterproof. You couldn't submerge it, but it is going to be waterproof enough. Head net, my Ultralight headlamp, which I love. This is one of my favorite pieces of gear. It takes a single AA battery. It's waterproof, water resistant, and 1.1 ounces, not counting the battery, which is wonderful. This little silicone holder here is attached to the back of my hat when I want to use it as a headband, and I don't have to carry the elastic that goes along with this, which saves me 1 ounce. Got a little repair kit with 1 extra battery. It's like for my X Lite repair kit. My first aid kit, a tick key, which is worth its weight. This weighs about 2 ounces. Some earplugs, fantastic for sleeping at night, and you don't hear all of the spookies in the forest. Here's another little tip. This is a 16-ounce Sawyer squeeze bag that I cut in half, and now it makes a foldable water scoop. So if the water source is really shallow or it's hard to reach to, you can open this guy up, scoop the water, and then pour it into a Smart Water bottle or into whatever container you're using. Folds flat and weighs 1/4 ounce. And then some wet wipes. This is luxurious. This is some one of the only luxury items I bring, but my butt thanks me. Pack these out though, don't bury them. But there's nothing like a wet wipe in the forest. Okay, I use this front pocket. Sorry. I use this front pocket for other random things throughout the day. I put kind of snacks, a rain jacket if I think it's going to rain, some socks if I need them to dry, my tent if it's wet and I need it to dry. I really like this front pocket. I will probably never buy a pack without that. And then, I'm sure you've never seen these, but smart water bottles. I always think it's funny. I think Smart Water CEO or executives are like, why the heck are we selling so many smart water bottles to hikers? But they're the perfect shape, they're really strong, and the sport caps are my favorite. Another tip, you can use the sport cap to back flush the Sawyer squeeze. Just fill this up, open this up, put the Sawyer squeeze into it, and then squeeze as hard as you can, which means you don't have to carry around the syringe. Okay, on the front here, or I guess it's the back. Is it the front?
I'd call it the back. It touches your back.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, the back.
On the back of the pack.
Strap side.
The strap side, I have this water bottle holder here. I really like this. It keeps, I don't use a bladder, and I can't reach the pockets when my pack is on, which isn't a huge deal because I have this, weighs an ounce from Mountain Laurel Designs. Keeps the water up front, which arguably balances out some weight because it's in front of you, but it's just super convenient, and I really like that. So, all right. Oh, yes, I'm getting. This pack does have hip belts. Comes standard with that. I don't use them. Usually, I just kind of clip them back out of the way. I left them on just to be versatile. I don't know when I have this fully loaded out with the bear can of food if I'm going to want that, so I didn't cut it off. I might in the future. But this is really nice hip belt and is pretty light, so. All right. Inside of the pack, this has over the top strap here, and then roll top, and a ridiculous extension collar. You definitely, you know, this isn't a Flex Trek 10,000, but it definitely humiliates the terrain. So, nice little snaps here. Okay, so I got an extra pair of Smart Wool underwear, Darn Toughs, a little fleece microgrid hat that I made. I hand sewed this. The fabric name is Curry, but it looks kind of like baby poop, so probably won't be seeing that at your nearest REI, but it's warm and light, weighs about an ounce, so I like it. What else we got in here? This is my Patagonia Houdini wind jacket. Weighs 3.2 ounces. Pack's really small. I really like this. If there's no chance of rain, I usually just bring this and a emergency poncho. Poncho would be used kind of in emergency cases if, you know, we get caught in an exposed area with tons of rain. Put this on, then the poncho over the top. If rain is in the forecast, generally I'll throw in a 3-layer jacket and leave this at home. Okay. My insulation layer is a Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. This is about 8 ounces, I think, maybe 7.5. Pack's super small, really, really light, and really warm. I like this jacket. Don't pay a full price for that though. I think they're like $350 or something like that. I don't think it's worth full price. If you're going for full price, I would pick up a Montbell, the X Lite anorak, the hoodie one. I think that's a much better value, and they're about the same weight. I got that one for a ridiculous steal. I think it was like 75% off, which is the only reason why I got that. So, all right. So the bear can, I don't know if you can tell, but the bear can I have put in kind of horizontally, like that. So this side is against my back, rather than this round side being against my back. So far, I like this a little bit better. It's not as noticeable, but we'll see. This is the BV 450. BV450. Pain in the ass, but required on the Lost Coast Trail and in the Sierras and the Olympic Peninsula, mostly on the West Coast. Don't carry this if you don't have to, but absolutely carry it if it is required. It's to protect the bears, not your food, and the golden rule is don't be a dick, so bring it if it's required. Let's see here, I have Patagonia lightweight leggings. These weigh like 3.5 ounces. They're pretty warm, mostly like for summer use. I'd probably throw in a little bit heavier pair in the winter. Or are we good? Okay, sorry, technical difficulties here. These are my Patagonia lightweight leggings. They're pretty warm, they're good for summer use, spring use. I'd probably throw in a heavier pair for kind of the late shoulder season or the winter. But I really like these. They're 3.5 ounces, so very light. Oh! Cut off the tag. That probably saved me like ½ gram, so. This I throw in depending on the weather as well. This is a kind of homemade fleece microgrid merino buff. I really like this. If it's not cold, I generally won't bring it, but this can be used as a pillowcase over some clothing to create a nice pillow. It's really warm around your neck, it cuts the wind, but yeah, weather dependent. Right, so this is half of a Gossamer Gear Thin Light pad. It's a 1/4 inch thick. When I got this, I gained so much more respect for John Zaharian. I don't know how the hell he sleeps on this. But this is mainly being used as a sit pad and somewhat of a frame, not really, but a pad between the bear can and my back. I was using a Z-Lite, so 2 sections of the Z-Lite pad, but that was 4 ounces or 3 ounces, and this is 1 ounce. So a little bit lighter, and this is going to be used as like a sit pad around camp. But I have no idea how those guys are sleeping on this. My pad is a Air X Lite. Because of the weight distribution, I'm not carrying it on this trip. My wife will have it since I have the full tent. But I really like that. It's regular length. It's about 12 ounces and super comfortable. Next, we have the shelter. I hope Reddit forgives me for using a stuff sack, but I didn't want to do that for the video, or not use it for the video. But this is a tarp tent saddle 2. It's fairly new trekking pole supported shelter. It's double walled and comes in at 37 ounces, I believe. So pretty light for 2 people, tons of room inside. Usually, like when we're not carrying bear cans and on just regular trips around the Northwest, we split up the middle and the tarp, and it's about 16 ounces and 18 ounces respectively. What?
The beeping.
Oh.
It's kind of look. Perks of living in an apartment complex.
Pause. Do I look good? Is it going on?
Yes, one actually.
Okay, sorry about that. Tarp tent, saddle 2, fantastic. It's going to be a little bit of an interesting proposition setting this up on the sand. It's a freestanding tent. I've created kind of some guy lines that I'm going to use to jimmy rig some dead man anchors in the sand. We'll see how that goes. I'm confident. But yeah, should be fun. Alright, and lastly, this is my quilt. This is an Enlightened Equipment Apex insulated 30-degree Enigma. So this is exactly the same. Yeah. So this is exactly the same as the down version of the Enigma. Has the same attachments here, the sewn foot box, but the insulation isn't down, and you could probably see that this looks a lot different. There's no baffles, and that's because with synthetic it's actually just a sheet of synthetic material that they sandwich between two pieces of nylon and then sew it together. So really simple. I really like this. So it's 30 degrees, like I said. The lowest I've taken it so far was like 40, around there, 40, 42, and really humid. It was really wet cold, and I was perfectly warm wearing those leggings and my hiking shirt. So really impressed with this so far. Synthetic's great because if it gets wet, it will still be warm. Obviously not soaked, but moist. It will still be warm. The oils from your skin don't reduce the loft as much as down. You can just toss this in the washing machine and then hang it up to dry. If it gets dirty, which is great, and in the winter you can put this layered over a down quilt or bag to increase the temperature range, but also protect the down from any moisture or wetness, which I think is awesome and one of the reasons why I picked it up. Some downsides to this is it is a little bit heavier. So this 30 degree Enigma, long and regular width, weighs 25 ounces. And I think the down version of that weighs like 19, 18 maybe. So a little bit of a weight penalty there, but not too bad. The biggest trade-off in my opinion is the compressibility. So this will compress down to like 15 liters, 10 liters maybe, which is not that small. So if your gear in general is large, this probably wouldn't be the quilt for you. It might make it hard to fit into kind of traditional ultralight packs, especially frameless packs. So something to consider, but I think the pros far outweigh the cons. So far, this is going to be great on the coast. Won't have to worry about any mist or fog in the morning. Condensation's not a worry. And I really like it, so impressed with that. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, it comes in right around 9 pounds. That's including a 2-pound bear can, which sucks. But you have to carry it, so I'll carry it. And I mean, under 10 pounds is pretty easy to carry. I know we get caught up in, you know, counting ounces or grams and stuff like that, but honestly, if you're relatively fit and your base pack weight is less than 10 pounds, you're going to have a fantastic time on the trail. You're not going to be weighted down, and you'll have a good time. And that's why we do it, just to, you know, enhance our experience on the trail. So thanks for watching. This is my first video, so please forgive me. If you're not already, you should check out Reddit / I messed that up. Anyway, go to Reddit, search for Ultralight, go there and subscribe. It's a wonderful community, super helpful, and they'll help you get your pack weight down. So, thanks.